Welcome back to another DePIN State Update. I'm Nick Hawks, your host. This is sponsored by Gold Hawks and Associates. We'll talk a little bit more about us later in the show. For right now, we've got DNB from the Ator crew catching us up on what's happening in the Ator world. DNB, what's going on, dog?
Hi, Nick. Thanks for having us again. Always a pleasure to be here. I'm well. How are you keeping?
Dude, staying super busy. As we can all imagine in DePIN, it's still like massive building time, and just seeing behind the scenes on so many of these projects, how hard people are working and how much is happening. Super, super cool. So tell me what's going on the Ator, or should I say anyone side?
Yeah, thanks. So the Ator team is also super busy building and cracking on as usual. Yeah, as you mentioned, anyone rebrand is sort of at the forefront of their strategy, and community sort of is really gunning for it and gearing up for it. This has been scheduled for Q2. You know, this is on the Ator team website, and all the commercial and legal sides are in the motion to make this happen. We all want it to happen ASAP. However, the team is working with the best legal advisors, best commercial advisors. There'll be a whole campaign around it's not just rebranding and changing the token ticker. There's the whole sort of fresh marketing strategy, KOLs involved, coordinating the exchange listing. So there's a lot of work that's diligently being put in, like going on to maximize the impact of this. And the team always delivers on time every time. And I'm excited to see what fireworks they pull out here.
Yeah, no, it's going to be exciting. It's super cool to see that shift, and it's a nice flex and saying, hey, this is how we started. This is where we're going. We're continually making this thing better. Let's talk a little bit about the dashboard side. What's going on there?
Yeah, so like our communities, I just love everyone in the community because everyone's constantly looking at GitHub updates and tracking development and this and that. And a lot of our eagle-eyed community members have seen basically a live preview of the dashboard where they can test out the claiming token mechanism, and they can see statistics around the node health via a metric called consensus weight. So I will provide the link for this, but the feedback's been really good. The UI looks slick. And again, this is why I love Ator, the way they develop their dashboard, the way they develop their hardware. They're not cutting corners here. And, It is up to the standard of blue chip Web 2 companies. And it's nice to translate that into Web 3.
Yeah, it's been super impressive just to watch those guys work. And then when they don't have the expertise in-house, they bring it in from outside. And yeah, really, really impressive. Talk to me about node growth. I know we started, all projects start at 0. What are we looking at right now, and how's it looking?
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, the nodes at the minute have been going parabolic. The community Telegram chat has a bot which tracks people provisioning nodes. And I think the total node count has surpassed 1,600 nodes, which is remarkable in a few months. And the guys, our friends at Hotspotty and DePIN Hub, actually have a really nice dashboard that tracks these, the public IP addresses. You can see where these are located. It's not, it doesn't show right to your house, but just the general area. And it's truly starting to come together as a very large and decentralized network. Every single one, you want these nodes to have different internet providers. You want them to be in different regions, to make it decentralized and to make it more secure for a routing perspective. And also, the actual physical hardware versus virtual nodes. You have the physical hardware is obviously in high demand, so people are spinning up virtual nodes as well. I like this because the physical nodes obviously go through a strict internal testing and QA process that is rigorous to ensure stability, reliability, and no one wants like their hardware to break after a few months. But also you have to test it in production. So you take a phased approach with people and their hardware out in the wild, quote unquote, and also you have people setting up virtual nodes. Virtual nodes are good because people use different operating systems, they use different providers, so you really get decentralization like on a hardware and software level. So there is no single points of failure in this network.
Well, yeah, super cool to see. And it looks like they're going to make some of this stuff a little bit easier to find, but right around 20% of the network is hardware, which is super cool. I know that they sold 1,000 of the NFTs right out of the gate, and that happens super fast. And so hardware has been pretty hard to get a hold of. But it's funny, you've been having some fun on Twitter, calling us and hotspotting out, saying like, "Hey, where are all your software nodes coming in?" And just showing how easy it is for folks. If you don't have hardware, it's not like there's only one way to contribute. There's this other way that's pretty easy, and spin up a couple software nodes and get after it. So super cool to see that.
Well, look, I'm a bad investor because people who spin up these nodes and get them up and running are going to earn a lot of Ator. So I shouldn't be provoking you and Max into doing this because that's less Ator for myself and my cronies. But it's not about accumulating tokens. It's about building a large, scalable, and robust network. And that is what is good for Ator is good for many of us. And that is why I'm encouraging everyone to spin up as many nodes as possible.
Yeah. No, it's been fun to do it, and I like the way you're doing this stuff. Okay, and then let's wrap this up with for folks who want to meet some of the Ator team. Where's the next place that they could meet them in person?
Well, thanks. So I believe representatives of Ator will be going to, there's an Ethereum event in Belgium, Brussels, I believe, which is in July. We also have some of our advisors, mainly the legend Daniel from Hotspot. He's speaking at several events. There's the DePIN sector is booming. It's awesome to see. So I believe there'll be some Ator representatives there. There'll be some hardware. I believe some might be handed out. So I would keep an eye out. And what I really like about the Ator team is when they go to events, they go there with a purpose and a mission, which is to really grow Ator awareness and get those builders on board. It's not just to go to pump their own egos and drink beer. It is to go and get hard work done, and it's always, to help, grow the mission and the cause. So there'll be some notes there. Reach out to Daniel, and I'll share some events that the team will be going to.
Well, okay. Super, super cool. Dude, thanks a ton for the update. Always good to have you on. Expecting to see you back in the next couple of weeks, and we'll talk about the next thing that's going to happen on Ator/anyone. Thanks, DB.
Thanks for having us.